Welcome to Fish and Snacks, the podcast that teaches you all about what's going on in sports, in life, and in Hollywood. And now, how about a nice round of applause for Eric Fish Snyder and Brad Snacks Grunberg.
Number 48.
Yeah, sometimes we have a knockout guest, person, talent. And when we used to do podcasts way back when, we had her on, and she's a fellow bartender friend of mine that I met, but I never knew she had the talent of writing. And she just published her first book, and we're going to talk about it. You want to bring her in?
No, you bring her in.
All right. Let's get a big hand for Nicole Elizabeth Hatfield.
Nikki, where's she? There she is.
There she is. Welcome to Fish and Snacks.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
So good to see you again.
Yeah. So if you listen to our opening, I was saying that I met you probably 7 years ago. She was working at a rival bar across the street, Snacks. We talked about that in the past, but I never knew she had a passion for something that I like to do and you like to do, and that's right. And right now, on Amazon, you could get this. The Gold Journal Writings, a separate book of poems by Nikki Hatfield. And we're so proud of you right now that you're published. And talk about the actually the inspiration and then the journey.
Well, growing up, I was a theater geek. Was always in theater, choir. I dabbled in creative writing in college. It was really always therapeutic for me. I was always that person like writing random thoughts down or coming up with the like catchphrases or the ideas. And then throughout motherhood in my 30s, I really wanted another creative expression. I feel like that was a part of me that was lost, that I always craved for. So I started writing a novel, and as Fish knows, with your novel, it can get a little emotionally uh like draining. So I really wanted to step into a creative outlet that I could get my feelings, get my thoughts across, but maybe wasn't as emotionally and time consuming as a novel. So I started writing poetry. And I started putting it all on my laptop, and I came up with, this was kind of my like fun part to get into my creative outlet away from the novel that was kind of emotionally draining. And it started flowing. I just started putting poems together, and I started taking some from, I remember when I was younger and kind of elaborating on that. And I just put it all in a book on my laptop.
Was it therapeutic, the journey and the process doing it? Did it help you in your life?
Oh, yeah, it was really therapeutic. And it was really fun coming up with ideas that probably wouldn't fit in the novel I was writing, but was a good idea I felt I had. And it was also really fun exploring that creative aspect. Like, it's something I've never done.
Yeah. Nice. Poetry is something I could never conquer, because it's so much, not because I don't have a heart, because it's all the soul and the heart. And
Yeah.
you're younger than us, and to have that kind of, I guess I've read it. Okay. We read some of your poems in when we had you on the podcast before, and they're elaborate and they're so full of soul. To have that kind of zeitgeist in you. You grew up in Minnesota, right? Didn't you grow up in Minnesota? So a lot of this is from your personal experiences. Is that what most poetry is from?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, having a feeling. A guy didn't call you back. How do you feel about that? And just kind of elaborating on that feeling and creating kind of an imaginary scenario about it. A lot of poems reference in my book a cowboy. And, what do we think of cowboys? They always leave. So I just try to think of like creative ways to say, like, this is how I'm feeling without saying, hey, you didn't call me back, you're a jerk. I try to think of like a kind of a turn of phrase that could like elaborate that more in an artistic way.
Okay. What idiot didn't call you back, right? I know Brad's
Yeah.
thinking the same thing. What
What a
moron
putt.
never
Yeah.
called you back? Come on.
There's
Oh
been
my
a
God.
few. There's been a few of them.
Nikki, I want
Yeah.
to go off script for a second. Through all our research, the Fishmeister told me something. Are you a single mother?
I am, yes. I
I
have a little
want to
girl.
applaud you because I've
Thank
known
you.
a lot. You are a hero because that's the
Oh,
hardest
thank you.
job there is. That is the hardest job there is. And I want to applaud you. Come on, everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that's
so
yeah.
much.
Nikki Hatfield.
And she works
Yeah.
full time as a bartender. Talk about where you work and your shifts, so the people
Yeah.
that watch us in Las Vegas can come and see you, and you could maybe
Yeah.
talk to them about a poem. I want to meet some of the guys in your bar that don't call you back.
Yeah, right. So I am a full-time bartender. I work for the bar. I currently work day shift at Centerpoint. It was the seventh bar, and it's great. I love it so much. It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to connect with my guests and to also be able to work shifts where I can be home with my daughter. It's a lot of fun. It's a great, great company. Lots of promotions, great food. It's always just so positive, and I'm so grateful to be able to have that and be able to, in Las Vegas, being a bartender is like being an accountant somewhere else. We work normal hours. We're pretty normal people, and I'm just so blessed to be able to work with a company that just prioritizes its employees and prioritizes us as individuals. And my owners are so great. They always ask, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What can we do for you? And especially in Las Vegas, with the industry is really oversaturated, you don't find that a lot, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I
So
have.
I just,
I'm
I just
lucky in
want you
that
to know,
aspect too. Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, yeah. Shucks is
I just
amazing.
want you to know, I would always call you back. I'm so lonely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Except if when Brad comes to Vegas, if we ever went out, there's no way we're not going to a drive-through. That's his thing of a restaurant. It's like
Yeah.
every Carl's Jr. and Chick-fil-A in every city knows who Brad is.
And
Nikki, if you can write a
In-N-Out
Yeah.
poem
Burger.
about that, Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your daughter's favorite drive-through?
She's Chick-fil-A. She really likes McDonald's. So she likes Dairy Queen too. She gets a kick out of the ice cream cones, like being
Oh,
made there.
oh, that's
Yeah,
so
she's always
smart.
really excited. She's like, why is there ice cream and food here?
I love her.
You're on Amazon. It's $9.99. Let me show another picture of you. This is a great picture of you, kind of, you can see it. That's Nikki holding the book and just, the business suit on, the
Hubba,
look of
hubba.
looking down at the book and saying, oh my God, this is my passion. So
That's
we're going to
great.
promote this and continue to promote it.
Thank
Go to
you.
the Fish and Snacks website, and we're going to help Nikki Hatfield because, again, I'm going to say it. I'm a bartender. You're a bartender. And when you have that passion, you do something else. One thing about bartenders, when I grew up in Los Angeles, Brad knows this because he did the same thing. Most bartenders' dreams was to get into acting or writing, right? You have actually accomplished your dreams, and you're doing it in Las Vegas, where the dreams of a bartender sometimes is, can I get the swing shift?
Right.
Can you
Brad?
let me ask you this question. Give us a great bartender story because we have a part of the show where Fish tells his bartender stories. Do you have a good one that happened recently or many years ago?
I'm pretty lucky. I have great regulars, but I'll never forget someone coming in from like a post on Facebook and being very, very upset I wasn't taller. I'll never forget that.
Oh
I'll
my
never,
God.
I'll never forget
Oh my.
how excited I was and grateful for them to come visit me. And,
Yeah.
whenever anyone mentions like, oh, I saw your post on Facebook, I always try to like get their interest. Did you come in for a promotion? Did you come in like, you know, did we have like great gaming promotions? And he came in and he was very, very, very upset I wasn't taller. So
How tall are you?
I'm only 5 feet tall. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the height I date. Oh my God. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and 5 feet.
Yeah. On a
Call
good day, I'm
Elvis.
5'1". So
Oh, with heels. Okay, I got you.
yeah.
Somebody
Talk
call
about growing
Elvis
up.
with a yarmulke.
Yeah, really. Talk about growing up in Minnesota. I mean, obviously, what a what a dichotomy between the weather there
Yeah.
and the weather in Las Vegas. You come from a large family. Anyone theatrical in your family to give you the impetus to do what you're doing?
No, I was, I had a pretty crazy childhood. I fortunately am adopted. I have a great family now. I think a lot of my interest in theater was an escape, and I also was like really nerdy. I was really nerdy all through like school. Minnesota is a beautiful place to grow up, though. Um, the lakes, the weather, everything. I had a really, really good grip on what I wanted to do. Like I knew who I was from a really young age, and I think theater was kind of my way to express myself. I always say the theater geeks are Leos, and that's what I am. I'm a Leo. So
Let me ask you this. So I just finished the script for Adam Sandler, and I want to ask you a question. Do you want to ever, or did you find your birth parents?
so I actually was raised by my birth mom. I've never met my biological dad. So I really had no interest in finding him, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. I know some people want to find them for closure. Why this and that, but you're happy, and that's the most important thing. Your mom's your mom,
Yeah.
your dad, your family. All works out. Everything works out for the best in the end. Correct?
Yeah, and I always, I believe I was meant. Every path in life brings us to where we're supposed to be, and where I'm at is really awesome and really blessed. I don't think if I didn't have the life experience I had, I would have never been brought to the place to have my daughter, or brought to the place to be where I am now, or have the family I have, or even be on this podcast right now.
Oh.
I feel you.
Yeah, Nikki worked at a bar across the street, which is the number one competition for shucks in the neighborhood, and she took a risk for her kid because she wanted to do a shift that she could be more around her kid, and that's fantastic because a lot of people just get stuck in their shifts, in this business and are happy. So got to give you something like that. So it's some of your poetry. Now I have the book coming from Amazon tomorrow. It should have came today. Okay. I'll read it, but if some of the poetry portray your past and maybe not looking for your dad, is it dark?
Yeah, I think, whenever you write poetry, and you'll understand this, you're both writers, you want to make it a little bit more dramatic. You want to make it a little bit spicier, or catch the eye, or make someone feel something. I do have poems in there about both of my parents. I do have poems in there about situations I've been through when I was younger that really resonated with me and stuck with me. I also have a poem for my daughter, which is
Oh,
probably my favorite one.
yes.
But yeah, I think a lot of times with poetry, you want, in my opinion, I want to make someone read that and be like, wow, I'm not alone. You know, that person felt
Perfect.
the same way that I feel. So
Yeah.
there are little dark ones in there.
Life is light and dark, but we all always like to
Yes.
stay in the light, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well said, Snacks. How's your novel coming? Is that a work in progress or is it almost done?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really great. If you've ever read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, uh fantastic book. Um she's so talented. She was also self-published. Really took off on the whole book talk. Um it's great. It's very emotionally time consuming. Um I think I ventured off on other projects just because how my brain works is I like to start something and then go back and add to it. If I ever get that writer's block, I just go start a new project. So I feel like I have like 4 or 5 books just sitting on my laptop that I dedicate a certain month to. Like, okay, this month, my next book is going to be love poems, just all love poems. And I'm going to try to get that out in about 2 or 3 months. And then after that, I'm going to go back to my novel. And then maybe if that gets a little too just emotionally exhausting, I'll venture out and do another book concept that I have working on. So
Nice. Did you get good grades in school?
kinda.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling my parents. I haven't graduated yet.
Yeah, kind of. I was more just the only thing I cared about. I was a competitive figure skater. I cared a lot about like the choirs, the shows, the acting, the singing, the dancing.
Oh,
Like
wow.
theater was my heart. So I wasn't the best student, but
Sure. It's all right.
So it ends with us. Is that anything to do with the Justin Balboni and Blake Lively movie?
yeah.
That
So it was the
that
book that inspired the movie.
oof. Everyone knows
Wow.
about that movie, Snacks. You know about all the lawsuits. My God,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the movie's
I'm.
good. I thought the
It
movie was
is.
pretty good.
Oh, the book is even better, and it's crazy to me. You know, it's loosely. How do I say this? I never want to speak to it for another author or artist, but most of your inspiration is loosely based on your experiences. And it's just crazy for someone to go through something so remarkable and to create such a beautiful piece of art. I would have been so upset with what they did to the movie, you
Wow.
know?
Yeah. I mean, we don't even really know the truth behind these lawsuits,
Yeah.
right? We don't really know what happened behind closed doors, but listen, hopefully they'll settle it, move on, and create other great stuff. That's
The
what we
only,
all hope, or
you always
you
say
don't
I
want to
read the
spend your
book.
whole life in
Yeah.
court, right?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
Hey, Snacks, you feel this way? Like I could think about so many books that I've read and I've seen the movie and it's just total shit. One book that didn't, The Godfather is the one book I read when I was a kid that the movie really was true to the Mario Puzo novel. But there's so many books that I've read and I said, oh my God, what are they
Listen up.
doing? Why are you so Hollywood and taking away from the context of this book?
Yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah.
but
They
one day
take the
Nikki's
book.
going to
Yeah.
sell her novel and make it into a movie, Brad, and you're going to star in it.
I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm
You,
available.
you could be
And
the
by the
lead
way,
act.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
You could be the lead.
I can't wait. By the way, you write a book and then they adapt it to a screenplay, but you're the author. They always have to embellish little things here and there to make it
Yeah.
work. But sometimes, you're like, what is this? I love the book. This is garbage. Or they cast it wrong, that kind of thing. It's too long. I always believe this. I'm a comedian too. Leave the stage, have your audience wanting more. Don't keep going and going. It's got to have an ending. 2 hours, 145 to 2 hours that's my cutoff point. I can
Yeah.
go a little longer than two if it's good, but some of these movies just never end, and they rewrite
Nikki,
and then they reshoot. So.
you're right. Well, the whole industry has changed since you and I were kids. She's still
Oh,
young and in a whole different, the AI stuff's coming around and
Yeah.
that's scary. Nikki, are you into the Vegas scene as far as the sports? Are you into the Knights and the Aces and the Raiders? Are you a sports person?
Yeah. I'm from Minnesota, so I feel like all you do is play hockey, ice skate. Um, I such a big Knights fan. It's so amazing what they've done for our city. It's so cool. I worked at Hyde at the arena when it first opened up, so I saw the arena being built, and I'm sorry, I should say I saw the ice being built, and it's such an amazing experience. There's no fans like Vegas fans. And this
yeah,
is
they're
coming from
great.
someone from Minnesota who literally grew up watching and playing hockey and ice skating and all that stuff. But they're so amazing. I can't believe how how much love they give back to their city. It's great.
That's great. Vegas is very special. It's getting better
Yeah.
and better every day. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people relocate there, right, Fish?
Sure. We expect, yeah, they expect, what did I read, Nikki and the RJ? They're expecting 200,000 more people to relocate here in the next 5 to 10 years. The problem is, as Nikki will tell you, is when I first started at Shucks in 2019, there
Uh-huh.
was, this is for Nikki. There were 6 bars between Grand Teton
Yeah.
Lodge and going around to a Montana meet. And at that time where the flowing tide is, now there's 14, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's just it's oversaturated, but they're figuring something, they're building, so there must be water and there must be jobs available, and they're anticipating a better economy. So is there another poetry book on the horizon?
Yeah, so I actually while I was editing my book, I wrote a separate book of poems that were just like about horoscopes that I couldn't really put in my first book because it didn't really. I had a poem for every sign, you know. So I actually have it right here, and it is also on Amazon.
Oh,
And
dark.
it's just
Awesome.
a poem. It's really short. It's just a poem for every single star sign. It's dedicated to a really good friend of mine who unfortunately passed away.
Right.
And it's also dedicated to my daughter. She has her own little poem in there. She's a Cancer. And it was just something fun to do while I was kind of waiting for Amazon to kind of, how do I say this? When you're in the editing process, you go back and you look at 17 times. You know, you take something out, you put something in. I think getting the book into its format and getting it onto Amazon Publishing was the hardest part for me. But once I did it, I was able to do this one in a day.
What is it called? We didn't see what it was called.
Yeah.
This one is called Star Cross Verses. Sorry, it's backwards for you guys.
No, we see it.
We see it.
Um,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
but it's just a poem for every, Brad, what's your
Okay.
son?
Give
Yeah, where do you
give
get
Brad,
that? Where do
do
you,
Brad and then do Bree. Brad, what's your sign?
Scorpio.
Oh, I have a really good friend who's a Scorpio, so your poem is really good.
Oh, it
Oh,
is. Ooh.
So the Scorpio is Mars' greatest passion. But I wrote it for a friend of mine, so it's gonna say she.
It's okay.
So,
God rest
um,
his soul. God bless her.
she moves like midnight, soft but sure. A mystery no heart can cure. Eyes like secrets, oceans deep. She controls the tides. Promises only she can keep. Her beauty will burn into your brain. If you've ever met a Scorpio woman, you'll understand that. Not just to see, but to feel in shades of mystery. She will love you fiercely, guarded to her cord. A tender storm, you will always want more. Eyes black as night, but vulnerable, love at first sight. Dressed in grace, a thousand truths behind one face. Underneath her cosmic guise lives a love deeper than the ocean in her eyes.
oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Wow. I'm a
Yeah,
Virgo. Give me a
Virgo.
Virgo.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Virgo. I'm a Virgo rising, so I love
Oh.
Virgos. Very organized.
Uh,
I don't think I have a friend who's the stability of perfection because you guys are perfectionists.
there you go. See, hear that, Snacks? Stability
Yes,
and
I
perfection.
do. Yes, I do.
Moving where order grows, careful thoughts and nurturing flows, earthbound, sharp and smart, arranging the stars by the brightness of their light. So that's how I imagine a Virgo would do.
Nice.
Mercury rules you, wise beyond your years, reading between the lines, unlike any other sign, planned yet sweet. Gentle hands that mend, the Virgo, the earth, the friend. Love soft and deep, the of promises their lovers keep. Not loud and reckless in their art, but steady and true of their graceful heart. Do not miss the subtle glow, the quiet grace is what they show. Careful and patient lives a Virgo, one of the purest of hearts.
Oh,
Love
thank
that.
you.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
read that to my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikki, let me ask you. We're coming to the end of this interview. What is the good word for the day? There's a lot of people going through very tough times now. Very tough. Health, wealth, just life. What would you like to pass along to our audience?
Mm, Probably that the person on the other side is worth it.
Love
Oh,
it.
I
Love
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Brad, say goodbye to this young lady. Before we do that, one more plug. That is the
Yes.
Gold Journal
Thank
Writings, a
you.
separate book of poems by Nikki Hatfield. You just saw the one that's on Amazon now about the astrological signs. This is the Gold Journal Writings. This is the first thing. It's $9.99 on Amazon, and we encourage you to go out and get it.
And Nikki, what are the bars you work at where I can come see you just
The
for
bar.
research purposes? Research
So,
only.
it's called The Bar. I work at the Center Point location. I'm there Thursday through Sunday day shift, which is 8 to 4. We have all of the games, the full football package when football season starts. We
Wow.
have the soccer, the baseball, like huge TV wall. It is on Town Center in Charleston, so it's like right in the heart of Summerlin by Red Rock.
Great area. Great
Yeah, it's
area,
great.
Brad. Yeah.
Yes,
Well, come see Fish on Graveyard. If you don't hang out after that,
Yeah.
go see
definitely.
Nikki.
Chuck's
Yeah.
Tavern, my number one, but very
It's
close
great.
is you at the bar.
Yes.
8 to 4, baby.
8 to 4.
Hey,
Yes.
we're proud
Nice
of you.
hand for Nikki.
Thank
Nikki
you.
Hatfield, everybody.
Proud of you. Thank you for
Thank you
doing
guys so
this.
much. Of course,
Thank
anytime.
you so much. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Nick.
you, Nikki.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
She's great. She is
She's
fantastic. She's a winner.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, she's pursuing a passion, and you get stuck in this bartending gig, and you're
Yeah.
making money. It's cash every night. You did it, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is great. I'm making 300-400 a day. Why the hell am I doing anything else? But single mom, and I never knew that she was adopted. I've known the girl
Yeah.
for 7 years, so
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Hey, Snacks, every time I look at you, I know you've had this.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Say
tease
it.
me with Nikki and then you bring in the Dubby? Oh,
Nikki's energy, buddy. See, Nikki's energy. Today's episode is powered by W Energy drinks for people like Nikki that can work, be a single mother, work bar shifts, be a mom, and write 3 or 4 books. This is what it's there for. It's laser focus. It delivers clean, smooth energy without the crash. There's no sugars, no mystery chemicals you can't pronounce. Whether you're grinding at the work, gaming, editing, writing scripts for Sandler, pretending to understand why a drive-thru isn't open 24 hours and you're shitting your pants, W will keep you sharp, not turning you into a tweak, all right? Look, you're going to get 10% off just by listening to Fish and Snacks. W.GG, use promo code Fish and Snacks at checkout. That's Fish and Snacks. It's all caps snacks, one word, W. Energy that works, not energy that rearranges your furniture. Wow.
Start your day right with Dubby.
Right. We got a couple of topics we're going to go to. We'll go to sports, and we're going to do a little sales, this and that. Two things that are happening. I know one's happening. We talked about this with the traffic between you and I off camera, but you got the World Cup starting on the 11th. Now this is 10th. So tomorrow the World Cup starts in LA. This thing drops on Monday. I hear LA's not ready for it, number one, but number two, the World Cup is huge. And why do Americans not embrace that sport or at least acknowledge it as a top sport in the world? Why are we so arrogant?
I loved soccer when I was a kid. I love Pele. Now I love Messi. Kids today, they play soccer. They should be into it. But the tickets are so expensive in LA for the World Cup. It's crazy. But no, it's just a sport people like. I like basketball. You love football. It is. But this is the Big Daddy. This is the World Cup. So I hope people show up. I hope people cheer on their favorite person, their team. But I think it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, the Group D, I looked it up. Group D is the United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Okay, if we get by, we play Paraguay on the 11th, and then we play Australia sometime on the weekend before our show drops. If we win those, then Turkey is going to be the big one. Great commercial I saw for a promo for the World Cup. You have 3 guys sitting at a bar, and they're looking at each other, and they're saying, you think we got having a beer? And they go, you think we have a shot in this thing? We're such underdogs. And then the camera goes to Mike Eruzione, the star of the Miracle on Ice. And he looks at the 3 guys and goes, do you effing believe in miracles? And he walks away. So
that's great. Oh,
yeah.
And that was for what?
You're a big fan of the underdog. You never know, right? You got to play the game.
Yeah. I love underdog movies. I love Rocky. It's my favorite movie of all time. Never give up. You never know. Something might seem overwhelming and there's no way I got a shot. If you go in with that attitude, you're a loser. Anything can happen on any given day, like on any given Sunday. Remember that movie with Al Pacino? Wow, it's great.
Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx. Wow.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Steamin' Willie Beeman. Remember that character? Oh my God.
Yes.
So there's a phenomenon going right now. Now, when Snacks and I were younger, Snacks sat with his great dad, Jerry, now 94 years old, and watched something called the Harlem Globetrotters, which was an unbelievable basketball team that could literally throw half-court shots in at 100% accuracy. It's amazing. Yeah. And the tricks that they did. Now there's a phenomenon, Snacks. We talked about this off camera called the Savannah Bananas. And I said, I don't understand this.
Those guys are great.
They're they just filled 90,000 seat Neyland Stadium where the University of Tennessee Volunteers play. and it's the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen. Like, for example, if you took, who's a great wide receiver in the NFL? If you took Jerry Rice and he hits a double, when he
Yeah.
rounds second base, he's got to catch like 17 footballs before he to get the run or something like. They do all kinds of gimmicks. If you catch a ball in the stands, you can throw a guy out the plate. They get the fans involved.
That's great.
It is unreal. Have you watched any of it?
Yeah, I have. I love the owner and his wife. They're sole owners, 100% of the company. They treat the players great, and people want to see something different. You know, baseball at times can get very boring, and this is just different. And these guys are like big time minor leaguers, or they played in the major leagues, and then, you know, I guess their career kind of, you know, fizzled out. So they found Savannah and bananas, and, you know, it's like a rebirth, so to speak.
It's incredible. This thing is blown off, and it's kind of sad because a lot of their games that are on ESPN are outdoing the ratings of regular Major League Baseball games. So keep an eye. You know, hey, look, you know what? Look at the WNBA. They got Caitlin Clark, and after 28 years of losing money, it brought eyes to the game. So you saw the Angel Reese's and the Asia Wilsons and the Paige Brookers. It brought other people to it. Sometimes you need something like someone financing this podcast and says, hey, these guys are pretty talented. Snacks is all right. Fish is a schmuck, but
that guy's,
you know,
talented, not me.
Yeah.
I'm the
You know why I'm
sidekick.
talented? Because one day we're going to go camping, right? And Oryx Outdoors. Go on, say it.
I would go with Oryx. I'm not a camper, but if Oryx is involved, I'm in.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
Tell our fans about this company.
Well, Oryx Outdoors, you know, you think about Nikki Hatfield, our guest we just had. She comes from Minnesota. They have gear if you want to camp in that snow and the hills there. They have camping gear for that. For people like Snacks who want to go camping by Big Bear in California, they have camping gear for that. They do everything. You get boots, meat on the grill. You have a friend saying, nah, it'll fit. You need gear that doesn't tap out before you do. And Oryx Outdoors makes dependable equipment for everything. Camping, hunting, fishing, tailgating. And the gear is built to handle rough terrain, heavy loads. Every time I say that, I think
is that you're talking about my
decision making
poop?
that seems smart at the time. Hey, right now, again, Snacks, with great deal. Our listeners get 10% off. All right. Head to oryx/outdoors.com and use the promo code Fish Snacks at checkout. That's Fish Snacks, all caps, one word. Oryx Outdoors, gear that survives a trip, even if your plans don't. Hollywood. I go to this guy because he's done it. He's done films. He's done sitcoms. He's done TV. So you go look at him like we talked about. Please go look at his Shameless episode he did with Demi Rossum, where he's just Brad's not nicest guy, is a complete asshole in that scene. It's the opposite of Snacks. Now, I just read in Variety that network TV is in a big crisis right now because of cable and because of the streaming outlets. Sitcoms are all the sitcoms that are on network TV are in dire straits because they can't use curse words. Do you think that's a deal breaker? Do you need curse words to make something, you know, funny?
Yes, because that's how people talk today. You have to standard and practices needs to be revamped because little kids are speaking those words, you know. And with that said, I mean, what about YouTube? That's a whole nother network. That's the biggest network. You know, all these shows, you know, are coming to YouTube, Emmys and Academy Awards, because it just reaches a greater fan base. But yeah, some changes are made. A lot of shows got canceled this year.
Well, let me ask you this, because a guy that's the biggest inspiration in your life, I don't remember him cursing when he did CPO Sharky and he does his guy. Don Rickles got away with pure comedy without ever using a real curse word. But it seems like nowadays you got to throw the F-bomb in, you got to say shit or asshole.
You don't have to.
Get a
it
laugh.
Depends on the subject. It depends on the script. It depends on the show. But that is part of life. We've evolved to this. You know, I'm around kids. They throw out the F-bomb. You know, I mean, this is life. You know, you can tell your kids don't speak like that and this and that. But, you know, in the end, if their friends are speaking like that, they're going to speak like that. So, but, oh, man. This is crazy. You know what's crazy about this? I'm having a better time every week, and we're on show number 48. Is that crazy?
Great. Just a great day today. Every time I get a chance to be with you, and I'll probably be with you in person in a few weeks.
I hope
And
so.
then we're going to take this show to, another level. And go ahead.
Yeah.
Say thank you to our guests and get us out of here, big man.
All right. Nikki Hatfield, buy her books. Thank you so much for your time. Love the stories. Love everything. I love you, Eric Fish Snyder. I love Oryx. I love Dubby. I love anybody who watches this show. Hey, subscribe. We might make a couple of bucks and make it bigger and better. That's Eric Fish Snyder. Give me some fists, baby. I'm Brad Snacks Grumberg. We'll see you next week on number 49 of Fish and Snacks. Go get 'em.